It's time. Not sure what y'all was looking at, but anyways, today I come here because we really got some stuff to talk about, man. That we definitely do. Oh, and excuse my hair. I know I need a haircut, man. I just really ain't had the time to cut my hair. Excuse me. But what y'all need to go do is actually go check out my haircut tutorial video that I got on my page. It's one of the best tutorials I've seen. I'm not being biased because I did it, but I feel like it's really not getting the respect or the numbers that it deserves because it's definitely very detailed. And I know people that have called me personally and told me that that video actually helped them learn how to cut their hair for the first time. But we gonna talk about some things that we really need to discuss and get off all of our chests, because I know y'all been thinking about it too. So just to start it off, man, we just gonna hop right into it, and we gonna talk about Starbucks. We gonna talk about this Starbucks owner that made the statements and said the things that he said in regards to Black Lives Matter. I mean, just keep it plain and simple. Stating that no employees could wear any shirts, accessories, any apparel, or anything that got to do with it. And the thing about it is, he comes back, and it's windy again, so let's go inside. All right, so now I can sit down and focus. But the thing about it is, he comes back after he makes that statement and gets all this backlash and tries to reverse what he said and change his stance on what he said. The thing with me and about doing something and making an apology, it's like, imagine just going out and doing something that you wanted to do, that you genuinely wanted to do, and then somebody coming to you saying, oh, you know what, you shouldn't have did that. And then you saying, oh, my bad. You really don't mean it because you initially did something that you wanted to do. So you really can't say sorry or take anything back that you said or you did in regards to something like that, because you get backlash for it. Because if you never get the backlash or somebody tell you that, oh, that was not right, I mean, you would have never changed your stance anyway. So just because other people are like, man, that's messed up, nah, you shouldn't feel sorry because you initially did what you genuinely felt the first time. I also want to touch on the fact of the CrossFit owner, Glassman or something like that. Just a few of the things that he did and some of the statements that he made, and now he's losing out on partnerships with gyms. Reebok then backed out, so now he pretty much stepped down. And what I would like to say is, it's not really about race, but it is about race, but it's not about race. I mean, I'm gonna just call it like it is. I feel like it's about race because that's just the topic of what's pretty much being discussed. I mean, we can use the word race, we can use the word culture, we can pretty much use whatever we want, but what it comes down to is white people really not, and not all white people, not all, just some or most, however you want to look at it, not really understanding the culture of what it is to be black. I mean, it's all fun and games when you want to do the different dances and you want to do this and you want to do that and you want to be black or act black or be some type of part of the black culture. But then when stuff happens, like now blacks get killed in the street and we need people like you to stand up. By any means, I'm not saying anything negative about white people, because in a lot of these protests, it's been a lot of protests where it's been more whites than blacks, or it's definitely been white people standing with black people. So I'm not trying to put a race war, but the obvious stance that we're trying to talk is just cultural differences, like just different type of privileges that whites have over blacks, or different type of cultural understandings that whites have of their culture, but not really of the black culture, when they just really see more of the entertainment side and the more public side of it, whether it be athletics or entertainment or dance moves or whatever it may be. But one thing I do want to touch on, we got to touch on this, is how Kaepernick started all of this initially kneeling to the flag. mind you, kneeling to the flag never was to be disrespectful in my eyes towards America, or definitely not towards the military by any means. It was literally to take a stance on what's going on and how the world is looked at by our people. So let me give you an example. My uncle, or my grandfather, my grandfather is 92 years old. He served in World War II. Now, me being born in the 80s, I really don't understand or really get the grasp of what it was like to live in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, unless I spoke to somebody who lived in those times to try to understand what they went through. But how often do we do that? Just go and sit down and try to learn. Unless, I mean, some people go into libraries and they try to read about it and learn about it that way. But we only kind of really get a grasp of things that we've been through and things that we lived through. And if living in the 30s, 40s, 50s wasn't what we did, we don't have a strong understanding of it. So us as black people, if we don't even have a strong understanding on it, we definitely can't expect white people to have an understanding on the things that we got to deal with even still now, being that we didn't even live in the 40s and 50s and 60s. But with that being said, I'm sure when he came back from the military, I mean, I've heard people like Shannon Sharp talking on TV and everything and saying, you know, how could the flag ever mean to us what it meant for you? And that's a strong statement. I mean, when Kaepernick was kneeling to the flag, he was not trying to be disrespectful to it or the military. But let's just take it there for a second. Let's say he was really trying to call out the flag and what it was. People still, yet to this day, don't always bring up the topic of what the national anthem originally stated before all the deleted verses. I'm not gonna go into detail to it. You can look it up yourself, but that's not brought up enough for me in my eyes. Also, just going back to how I spoke about my grandfather being in the wars in World War II, he was fighting for completely different things than what the whites was fighting for. As Shannon Sharp said, quoting him, when your forefathers came back, they were coming back to freedom and this and that. When ours came back, they were still coming back to lynchings and hangs and being kicked out of this place or couldn't go to this place. So the flag doesn't mean the same thing to us, the black culture, as it did to the white culture. It just doesn't. So for people or Donald Trump to say we should feel a certain way about the flag, you can't expect somebody to feel a certain way about something that really means nothing to them. And I'm gonna go into something even deeper too that I'm used to from the black culture, but of course it's not. I'm gonna just go into it and I'm gonna touch on a few different topics, but I just want to bring this to light as well. Michael Vick and the whole dog fighting incident. For one, he wasn't there. But for two, dog fighting is something that in the black community is what we did. I mean, just like you have school fights, you have dog fights. I mean, it didn't seem like anything that wasn't right or wrong to do. And if we really want to take it there and say, oh, well, PETA is against it, and well, how is it that black people get in trouble for fighting dogs and PETA's mad, but white people can go out and hunt deer and hunt this animal and that animal? PETA is PETA. PETA, to me, I thought cares about all animals, whether it be a deer, a duck, a dog, a bear, or whatever it is. An alligator is you can. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because we can talk about that for days. But to go back into my main story before about Kaepernick, I feel like what he did and what he started was a great movement. And at the time that it happened, I kind of brought up the term Martin Luther King, not trying to compare the two, but you will only know how strong of what he did back 4 or 5 years ago was when the future and everything starts folding out and happens. And I feel like the change in the NFL really doesn't come until Kaepernick has a job. I don't feel like you can kick him out for doing something that you now condone to be morally right to do. To me, it brings up an issue of marijuana. how all these people went to jail for selling drugs of this amount or that amount or whatever. Oh, and now all of a sudden people can capitalize on it and everybody, it's okay. I mean, I remember when the talks of it first starting to happen of it being legal, and just all the videos that I seen. Again, not trying to pull out the race card, but you see all these white people posting videos like, yeah, like happy that they can sell weed now and it's okay. And as a black person, it's like, dang, really? Like, we got in trouble for that, and now that it's okay, you gotta let all the people that got in trouble for it go. You have to. If you want to make it right to do now, you have to do something about the past for when it wasn't okay, if it's now okay to do. And so if kneeling or protesting or whatever you're gonna do is okay, how do we essentially reward Kaepernick for what he started and what he did? He has to get a job. He has to get a job. So I don't want to keep this video too long, man. I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts with y'all, man, because like I said, I can talk about this all day and we can get real deep into it. I just wanted to bring a few things to light, man. And right now, honestly, I want to check any people out there, anybody, because I don't drink coffee and I definitely don't go to Starbucks. But anybody who is follower of Starbucks, whether you be white, black, Asian, or whatever, the color really don't matter. What matters is if you support the Black Lives Matter movement, and depending on how deeply you feel about that, if you're a person that say like, man, I'm 100%, I'm a supporter of it, I'm with the movement, I'm with this and I'm with that, then I expect you not to support Starbucks anymore, not to go there anymore. But if you're just a person that's just on the fence, like, yeah, I understand that Black lives and they going through this, but I'm not into it to the point to where I'm gonna stop going to Starbucks, then that's okay. I mean, that's your stance. But I feel like for anybody who's supporting the movement and going along with the movement and trying to actually make change for blacks and all races and all colors, then I think you really need to stop supporting these businesses that really only have it out for themselves. Like, they don't understand the power of the people. They really don't. Because if they did, they wouldn't be making some of these statements that they're making. I don't feel like it's right for you to be able to make a statement. To me, if you make a statement like that and then you get backlash for it and you take it back, I'm not accepting it. It's not to be forgotten, forgiven, anything. I understood what you said the first time and I'm gonna go about my life like that. Your apology means nothing. It really doesn't, because you did what you genuinely felt the first time around. So I know this video is different than what y'all used to me seeing. And if you made it this far, I want to personally thank you. I want to thank you for watching my videos, being a strong supporter of me. Please like, share, comment, subscribe to the videos, support my movement and what I'm trying to do. If you do have any comments that you want to speak on about what I said, write them down below and I will gladly reply and we can have a discussion about it if that's what you want to do. Like I said, I'm trying to get to 1K subscribers, 1K followers on my monthly goal. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers and 400 on Instagram. Go follow me at _yourboy_KG, man. I will be doing some giveaways. I love doing giveaways and giving back to the people that support me and doing whatever I can. I'm all about positivity, man, and motivation and inspiring and trying to get other people to see the best in themselves. If I can just move one person, I feel like I've done enough. 2 people, you getting better. It only starts with 1, man. So hopefully I can do whatever I can as a person in my life and my goal to try to change people and change the world for the better and spread positivity and motivate and inspire people to just live their best lives for themselves as well as their loved ones around them. I'm gonna end this video here, man. Of course, man, it's your boy KG 2 times. Y'all have a great day. We out.